What's up, you guys? What's up? Checking my mic here, making sure I'm good. Welcome back to my channel. I'm M. Williams, your licensed master stylist. Here on Sugar Salon TV. So, you guys, yesterday I uploaded a video and I was talking about locks. I was just talking about locks in general, just locks. So just talking about a few things, giving you a bit of history on locks, giving you some information on locks, telling you kind of how they originated, telling you, some good stuff about locks. And today, I want to talk about starter locks. I have clients who, a lot of times they come in to me on a regular, consistent basis and they get the 2-strand twist. And a lot of them want locks. So, it's to each his own. Everybody wear different styles. Everybody has their own personality. Everybody likes what they like. People love what they love. Everybody has a look that they're striving for day by day. Just like I'm wearing my hair in this big curly wig. There's been times where I've worn my hair in a straight bob. There's been times in my life where I had my hair just straight. There's been times in my life where I had my hair straight with a straight across bang, as we call a bang bang. So, there's times in our lives where we feel like, okay, we want this look, that look, this look, that look, where we change it up. Even sometimes I do curly perms on clients and then they want to switch it up. And curly perm is really not a style that you switch up a lot. So they'll add their own little twist on it, maybe adding some clip-ins or something like that. But, locks, one thing about locks, they call it a lock journey, and it's really a commitment. And the reason it's a commitment is because once your hair locks up, it's locked. It's really no way to change up your style like that. You can do some lock styles, but if you get what I'm saying, you can be more versatile if your hair is loose. So, you can wear different styles. Men, they don't have a variety. A lot of men don't have that variety of where they can change their hair up, a whole lot. But women, we kind of can change our hairstyle up 1 month to the next. We can wear braids. We can wear sew-ins. We can wear quick weave. We can wear wigs. We can wear color. It's all types of stuff that we women can wear. But locks, it's a journey. So the reason I say all that is because, like I said, once you decide that you're gonna get some locks, you decided that that's the journey that you decide that you're gonna walk on, you're gonna take that journey, that lock journey. It's a journey. And to me, the reason it's called a lock journey is because you don't even wake up one day and go to the salon and start your locks, and then you wake up the next day or the next month or even 2 months later and have locks. Your locks are not locked up yet, usually. So it's a journey. Basically meaning that it's a commitment. It's going to take time. It's not an overnight thing. It's a process. It is a process. So it's not like I said, like you're going to come to the salon one day and then the next day you're going to have locks. Your hair going to be locked up. No. Some people start with the journey and then they just end the journey. Some people continue on with the journey. Some people stay on the journey for years and then they decide to cut their hair off, or their locks off rather, or some people, just decide that they want to change. So it's a journey, it's a commitment. So that's first of all. When you decide that you want to start your locks, then it is a commitment, it's a journey. Now, who's really a candidate for locks, for starter locks? You know, sometimes I have people text me, they email me, text me, call me. I always ask for pictures. I'm always going to ask for pictures because, you know, when you and I are talking, and a potential client is talking to me, I have no idea what the foundation is. I have no idea what I'm going to start with, what my starting place is. I have no idea. So sometimes, for example, starting locks. Sometimes people will text me and they will say, oh, I have locks. Or some people will text me and say, oh, I want to start locks. And sometimes when people call me or text me and they say, I have locks, if it's a new client, I'm always going to get them to send me pictures. Because sometimes people will say they have locks and they really don't have locks. They have 2-strand twists or they have coils and the hair has not actually locked up yet. So whenever I get a new client, you know, what they term something as or what they feel like they have and what I know them to have is going to be two different things. So if it's a brand new client, I've never seen their hair, then obviously I need to confirm, you know, what it is that they're getting. I need to confirm what status or what stage they're in with their locks. I need to confirm. I just need to make sure that when the client come in and they sit down in my chair, I need to be ready that I'm, number one, prepared for it. Number two, have the products that I need. Number three, have allotted out the proper amount of time to service the client. So somebody who says they have locks, but they come in and the hair is not locked up, then it may take me longer to service them than it would somebody whose hair is already locked up. That's just an example. So I'm very type A, I'm very structured, and I try to be very respectful and cognizant of my client's time. So for me to be able to do that, I'm going to have to request pictures from a new client because I have no idea how the client may be walking in the door. They may have hair loss, they may have damage, they may have breakage. They may have relaxed hair and blonde hair at the same time. You know, sometimes stylists are out here, they're doing things to clients' hair that I would never do or that I would not think is healthy. So I never assume that I know what the status of a new client's hair is. So when it comes to locks, you know, it's a journey, it's a commitment. And so if your hair texture is very soft and fine, then it's going to take your locks longer to lock up because the kinkiness, the coarseness, your hair doesn't have. So someone with very full, thick, coarse 4C hair, their hair is going to lock up a little bit faster. But sometimes people can have a lot of hair and they can have thick hair, but they still may not have 4C hair. And so their hair still will take a little longer to lock up. So the candidates for starting locks, you know, it could be anyone who has those different textures of hair. But the client must understand from the beginning that it's a journey, it's a commitment. So if you're not willing to commit, I would not recommend that you start the journey. It's a commitment, a commitment. If you have soft hair, if your hair is thin, then it's going to take your hair longer to lock up. So it's going to be more work and more dedication and more commitment to get your hair to lock up. Whereas someone who has super thick hair, super coarse hair, that's coarse and thick, you know, they could be locked up in 2.5 months. Whereas someone with soft, finer hair textures, it could take 5-6 months. It just depends on the texture. Everyone is different because, again, it depends on your hair texture and depends on your hair density. what hair density is how full and how thick your hair is. Like some people hair is on the thinner side. It's kind of thinner. That's the density, the fullness of it. Then that's gonna take a bit longer for your hair to lock up. Just bear that in mind. And anytime I'm talking to a client and I'm giving client information, no matter whether it be about locks, relaxers, color, no matter what it's about, damaged hair, color treated hair. One thing about me, I'm always going to be very transparent, and I'm always going to be very honest, and I'm always going to be very forthcoming. Sometimes what I have to say may not be what the client wants to hear, but one thing about it, if you talk to me about it, then you know you're going to be getting honesty, integrity, and transparency. I'm going to always be forthcoming because I really believe that people should be an educated consumer. I believe before you go out here and spend your money with me or any other stylist, you should be an educated consumer. You should know what you're about to get yourself into. And that's just my belief. I don't know if clients feel that way. I don't know if other stylists feel that way. But I'm telling you, I do feel that way. So that's why I'm on here giving this information about locks. So, again, with the starter locks, it's a commitment. It's a commitment. For me, I recommend when people start their locks, they don't shampoo their hair until they start noticing that their hair locked up. Now, one thing about locks, starter locks, I want people to be very wise and very cognizant and very particular and vet and do your due diligence. Vet and do your due diligence. Simply meaning, just because you see someone has an Instagram or Facebook and they got a few pictures of locks or whatever, that does not mean that they're going to do a great job on your locks. You need to check with the experience. And the reason I say that, because that's where any aspect and every aspect of hair. I mean, a lot of times I get new clients in the past or recently, whenever. It could be at any time, you guys. I get clients sometimes and they have gone possibly to someone's house and got their hair done and got their locks started. Or they've possibly gone to someone that was inexperienced in a salon and got their locks started. For whatever reason, I cannot understand why people do not understand that however something starts, that's how it's going to finish. So if someone starts your locks and they're not started correctly, and they're not started properly, or they're started like way too big, or whatever the case may be, 9 times out of 10, you may end up having, the next stylist may end up having to take them loose or take them down. Because sometimes I've had people come to me and they've gone to someone else and got their locks started, and then they transfer to me, and then they're asking me, they saying, well, I had these locks 6, 7, 8 months, a year, and they still have not locked up. And then when I look at their locks, I see why. I mean, as soon as I look at them, I know why. Usually you can tell the person was not experienced. They did the locks way too big. If the locks are a bigger size, I'm not saying they have to be teeny weeny. I'm not saying they have to be sister locks. I'm not saying they have to be micro locks. But what I am saying is that a lot of times people go and, they go in someone's home and get their hair done and get their locks started, and the person just doesn't have the experience. Now, some people may tell you they don't have the experience, but a lot of people won't. Because at the end of the day, we who are all in the hair industry, we make our living and our earnings by servicing a client booking with us, and us serving the client. We don't make any money if we tell a client, well, I really don't have the experience to do that. We don't make any kind of money like that. So that's the reason that you have to be wise, and you have to do your due diligence, and you have to vet and research the person to make sure that whomever you choose as your service provider, that they have a track record of doing this, and that they've been in the industry a long time and they have experience. Because if you find out 5, 6, 7 months down the road that this person don't know what they doing, and then you transfer to the next stylist, then the next stylist is not going to be that happy to have to. I'm not saying they, don't. That sound kind of negative. I'm not trying to sound negative, but I'm just saying a lot of times people do a lot of bad work out here, and it's no way to correct it when you get to the next stylist. Sometimes they have to take the locks or loose. I've had clients where I had to do that before. So that's why I like to always press the fact and reiterate the fact that you need to do your due diligence. You need to research, vet before you sit down and get your locks started with anybody. Because if they're not started correctly, then they are not going to be done correctly. They're not going to mature correctly. None of that. It's different if you go to a stylist who really, really knows what they're doing, and they start your locks, and then somewhere later down the road, a year later or so, you may move to another state, or you may find that the stylist may stop doing hair, whatever the case may be. The person that started them may not even be doing hair anymore, or whatever the case may be. And then you have to transfer to another stylist, right? As long as you had them started correctly and they have matured, when you transfer to the other stylist, everything should be okay because they're locked up now. All that person has to do is retwist your hair because your locks are already mature. They've already locked up. They have matured. All they have to do is retwist the new growth. But let's put that in reverse, where you go to someone who's inexperienced and they start them off incorrectly. Then 6, 7, 8 months down the road, you have to transfer to another stylist who does have the experience. Then 9 times out of 10, that new stylist who you transfer to that's more experienced may have to end up taking them a loose if they didn't start correctly, or he or she may have to do some repair work. It could be any number of things. So you want to start with the foundation done correctly. You want it done correctly each and every time. That's why on my video uploads, I always stress, not that I'm bashing hairstylists, but I just really, really feel like a lot of times clients do not vet and research the stylist. And then when you do find a good stylist, stick with that stylist. Sometimes, if you're the kind of client who can be on time, you can be accountable if you are late or something like that. If you have a 10 o'clock with me and you're trying to come at 10:10, and I'm telling you that, I can't take you at 10:10, or I can't take you at 10:15, or whatever late time that you're trying to arrive, and I have to reschedule you, and I offer to reschedule you, then in me as an older person and me as a professional, if I have an appointment with somebody and I show up late and I know that I'm late, there's no way in the world that I'm going to be angry with that person and upset with that person because I showed up to them late. I would never get upset. If they tell me that they have to reschedule me because I showed up late, I'm not going to take it personal. I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to be angry at the service provider or whomever, wherever I showed up late at. That's just, to me, I mean, I don't know. But sometimes, you know, you got to understand as well, sometimes stylists are busy and they're usually servicing people back to back. And so, you know, great clients for me are clients who, you know, can be accountable, who are on time. And if they are late, you know, and I say, oh girl, I can't take you late. Can we reschedule next week, or can we reschedule tomorrow? Maybe I can take you, you know, if we do it like that, that's my willingness to still serve the client. But if they're going to get upset and angry with me, then I don't think that's the right client for me, because I'm very respectful and cognizant of my time. I'm very respectful and cognizant of my next client time. Because when a client is late, it's going to make you behind on another client too. So when it comes to locks, you know, it takes time to do locks. It takes time to service a lock client. And sometimes, you know, sometimes clients who have locks, they don't come in as often as they need to. Sometimes they'll go 6-7 months without coming in. And then they'll come in with their locks stuck together at the roots, because the locks at the roots, they will grow together. They will start to grow together at the root of the lock. And so if you know you're not coming in the salon on a regular basis, you need to make sure you pull them apart. You know, don't let them just grow together and then a month has gone by and now they're all stuck together at the roots. Because I don't think people realize how much strength and how much pulling and how much, you know, hard, you know, doing hair is a lot of physical work. It's almost like a physical workout in the gym, no lie. And so after a while, the stylist's feet are hurting, legs are hurting, back hurting, arms hurting, everything's hurting. So that's why I always tell my clients, when is the last time have you been in a salon to get your locks done? Because I know after like a month or so, those locks are stuck together at the root. And when someone comes in with them stuck together at the root, that means that the stylist is going to have to take the time and pull apart every lock that the client could have went ahead and done that at month 1. So these are the things that, you know, lock clients have to take into consideration too, because that's going to be a part of the maintenance. That's why I'm bringing this up, because that's a part of the maintenance and the upkeep of locks. And I try to keep my videos 20 minutes or less. I've already gone over the 20 minutes. And so with the starter lock, is definitely going to have a part 2, part 3. So I'm going to call this one Starter Locks Part 1. But I don't want this video to be too long. I try to keep them short so I can keep your attention span. But definitely lock wearers, pull your locks apart, because some stylists, to be honest, some of them don't even have the time to pull them apart. Some of them don't want to pull them apart. I've seen stylists cut them apart. Like, they will not pull because it hurts your arms and your back when you're doing that. So a lot of stylists will just cut the lock apart. And so that's going to be going through your entire head of locks and cutting them. I've actually seen people do that. I've seen hairstylists do that. I've seen them cut them. I've seen them get very frustrated when clients come in and the locks are stuck together at the roots. Because everything to do with the hair industry is a service-based industry. So everything is about time. So if a client is late, that's time that's lost. And we all know there's no way to recoup time. When a stylist is late, that's time that's lost. So there's no way to recoup that time. So when clients come in and they don't book everything that they need, or they come in and they sit down in the chair and then they start wanting to add additional services to their service, that's going to take more time. So this is an appointment-based business. So a lot of times stylists will cut the locks loose. Now, is it okay to do that? No, it's not okay to do that. Is it healthy to do that for your locks? No. But again, when you have locks, you have a part to play in the maintenance of it as well. Because yeah, some stylists don't mind pulling them apart. Some stylists don't. I'm not saying all stylists do. I'm just saying a part of your at-home care too is to make sure that your locks don't stick together at the root, so they don't have to experience that trauma of being pulled apart. So you just make sure that you check them like once a month and just pull them apart very gently. Now, if you let them go 2-3 months, then of course it's going to take more pressure to pull them apart. But again, you guys, I don't want this video to be long. I'm going to do however many parts I need to do so I can get this out. Whenever I do a lot of these YouTube videos where I'm giving information and education, I don't usually write down what I'm doing unless I'm going into a great detail. Now I've been trying to keep my videos a little bit shorter to keep people's attention span. So I'm going to have a 2-part, 2, 3, 4, however many parts it takes. But if you're thinking of locks or starting locks, make sure you watch all of these videos, because I try to give as much information as I can. Anything that's going to help you or help anyone who's considering starting locks, or people who may have had a bad experience with the person who started their locks. And if you guys could drop some comments below, tell me if you've had great experience with getting your locks started, bad experience, are you considering starting locks? Drop some comments below and give me a thumbs up. And I'm going to see you guys on my next video. I'm going to call this one part 1 or episode 1, whichever I choose. I'd probably say episode 1, so it may say EP 1. The next one will be EP 2, and so on and so on. If you have any questions while I'm doing this lock series, I'm going to call it a lock series, and I'm going to put it down in my playlist and call it the lock series. And so I'm going to drop that down in that playlist, and then you can just follow. It'll be easy for you to find these videos on the locks. Thank you guys again. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll comment, like, subscribe, click the bell, and share. And I'm going to see you guys on my next video upload. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.